Audio is now being recorded. Hello
Aloha,
and welcome back.
aloha sprinklerinos, and welcome back to our channel.
What the fuck was that?
Did you not watch Sprinkle of Glitter during the British invasion of YouTube?
I did not try to.
That's the only thing I know about her. Well, she has 2 kids. She got divorced, and that was her intro.
I did, I was trying to do Jenna Marbles. Welcome back
Welcome back.
to It's Time for Meme Review. Jenna, if you're out there, I miss you.
Jenna, I will sell my soul to you right here, right now. Just like give me the word. You don't need to pay for it. I will pay you to take my soul.
So guess what? Me and Ava took edibles again.
Like always.
So this is our second. Yeah, if you see me not at work, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably high.
Yeah. Like her only personality trait is being high.
That's not true.
And also having daddy issues.
Makes for a pretty interesting person, I'd say.
Trauma just adds the flavor to my life.
I suggested that this was my suggestion because this is the kind of person that I am. I suggested a thirsty episode where we, in fact, thirst over people.
Yes. This was inspired because Sierra has been harassing me for a month to watch the second movie of the Dirty Dancing trilogy. Not trilogy, series.
I'm holding up the DVD right now.
If you're watching this on YouTube, which I haven't even published the first 2 episodes, but if you're watching this on YouTube, you will see. And we're going to talk about that right here, right now.
Because that is what me and Ava have been thirsting over hardcore, is the man, the myth, the legend, the lead in Dirty Dancing Havana Nights is Diego
Luna. My man, my king.
Insert a picture here for the viewers that are watching the video.
Yes. Anyway, this is just going to be us thirsting over many people, but mostly Diego Luna, I feel like.
A man.
What a legend. Anyway, Sierra, would you like to explain?
Diego Luna is also in... I'm trying to think of more mainstream things because I don't know how many people really enjoy Dirty Dancing Havana Nights, even though it's good and you should watch it.
Didn't you say he was in Star Wars?
Yeah, he was in Star Wars Rogue One. I think his character's name was like Cassian.
I'm a turf for Star Wars, so I refuse to watch any of the new Star Wars movies.
I really tried Star Wars. I had an ex who was super into Star Wars, and I tried to for him, and it wasn't it. It just wasn't it.
When I was a kid, I remember we would watch I think it was the second movie where what's his name transforms into Darth Vader after Padme dies. Anakin Skywalker, yeah.
Yeah, I know buzz facts like that, but like I don't know what's actually happening in Star Wars.
She knows that Darth Vader is Luke's father. And yeah.
Leia?
No, Leia is Luke's sister.
So who knows that Luke is
Darth Vader? You know that Darth Vader is Luke's father, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Then you know that. I remember when I was a kid, I was obsessed with Dukes of Hazzard, The Wizard of Oz, the old show. Yeah, I was a turf even as a child, more as a child, but Dukes of Hazzard, Wizard of Oz, and Star Wars.
I was a School of Rock. That I was obsessed with that as a kid. Jack Black was my crush.
I was obsessed with Judy Garland too. Like I renamed myself for about 2 days Dorothy because I was so obsessed with what's it called? The Wizard of Oz.
I mean, Ava and I did read my tarot. We read a past life tarot for me, And there's a lot of struggles for this person. And we think that I was Judy Garland in a past life.
Yeah, like that's the only person we can think of. Like, oh, they really struggled that hard.
Yeah, they said they struggled with family issues, but like we're still like something about being successful, or like they had a lot of challenges and they were successful, but then once they got to a certain point, they couldn't handle it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that was like months ago. I honestly don't remember what it was.
I know, but it was wild.
It was crazy, like funky fresh. Um, anyway, should we explain what Havana Nights is about for the non-Havana Nights stands?
Dirty Dancing Havana Nights. So it's the same sort of trope as Dirty Dancing. Um, Baby is rich, studious, and that's kind of how it is in Havana Nights. Her name is Katie. She is studious, wants to go to college, reads, the whole nine in terms of like, like school marm. The school marm? Is that what they say?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and then
This is a side note. This is a side note actually, but you literally said that like word for word, same timing the last time.
Oh yeah, this is the second time recording this episode.
Yeah.
Because our footage got corrupted.
Yeah, my computer's a piece of shit. Anyway, so Baby and Katie are pretty much the same thing, just in different flavors.
Different fonts. But what makes this movie interesting is it really has absolutely nothing to do with the original plot and story of Dirty Dancing, the first one.
Literally
nothing to do with each other.
Nothing at all.
It's just kind of a similar story of rich girl, poor guy dance together.
Yeah, and the only like real clue that it is part of Dirty Dancing is Patrick Swayze makes a cameo as the dance teacher at Katie's hotel resort house.
Yes. Which I really wanted it to be like, oh, that's Johnny, but then the movie is set back in time from the original Dirty Dancing, which the first Dirty Dancing was like 1962, 63, something like that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And then the Havana Nights is set back in like 1953. Like there's a date card at the beginning. I forgot what it was.
I think it was 53. It was right before the downfall of Batista and before Fidel Castro took control of Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
Just to like date it.
Yeah, the Cuban Revolution. And so she moves down from America to Cuba because at the time Batista was doing something along the lines of letting rich white people live in America, and like a lot of corporations came down or something. It's very commercialized or something. I don't know exactly what was happening, but so a lot of people moved down to Cuba.
Yeah, he works for Ford too, which I don't know why you have to be in Cuba to work for Ford, but okay. I'm saying this as somebody from Michigan where like everybody works in a car factory.
I did not know that.
Yeah, my grandpa worked in a car factory. My mom's friends, a couple of them work in a car factory. Everybody's blue collar in Michigan.
Kansas is pretty half and half, I feel like. But so they all moved down to Cuba, Havana. And of course, Miss Katie, who is Baby in this situation, is real pissed about it.
She wants to make it absolutely clear that she is not anywhere like the other girls.
That's true. And so she moves down and they live in this like hotel type resort where all the white people are. Basically, the white people are kind of in their own little space within the resort. And then Cuban life goes on around them and they have no fucking clue. And they have like designated like places for the white people, you know?
It's like if you've ever been to Puerto Rico, right? Like when you go to, what's the capital of Puerto Rico again? San Juan?
Yes, San Jose. San Juan, San Jose.
San Juan, whatever it is. Like there's like certain resorts where like white people from the mainland will go there and like vacation there, and then everything's there. And then once you like leave the resort, it's a completely different place. Like I literally saw a person riding a horse down the freeway in Puerto Rico when I was
I
down
see
there.
that in Kansas all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, pretty much.
I see a lot of people just, I almost said driving their horse around. We see a lot of people going to the Old Town Road in Kansas.
Oh yeah. I expect nothing less of Kansas.
My friend told a story about how someone brought their horse through the drive-through at a taco place in my college town.
Oh, I saw a TikTok of that, like horse girls who will take their horses through the McDonald's drive-through. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, as somebody who has been trampled by many a horse, I don't understand how they didn't get bucked off and like dragged. Like they're it's always the best behaved horses that go through McDonald's, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah. This shit's wild, but it was like a pretty common occurrence but people would also like, we had a rodeo team on my college, so they had a farm like literally right off campus. So I'm sure people would like ride their horse around to exercise it. That's a pretty common thing. But anyways, it's kind of like a cruise ship idea. I never understood cruises because all the shit is on the boat for you to do. It's like you don't even want to get off to go see the actual country. And it's like...
I'd be one of those assholes to like take a cruise, go outside on one stop and be like, I like this better. Just abandon the cruise.
Yeah, it's just, I don't like the idea of cruises because it's like you don't really get to enjoy the countries that you dock in. It's like, we're going to go through these countries. I'm like, you get a day there to fuck around what's right there. That's not really that interesting to me.
Yeah. But anyway, that's what it was like in Havana Nights.
Yeah, sorry. We go on tangents. But, so that's kind of how it is. They're all kind of cooped up in there. So, Katie has a younger sister named Susie. And they get locked in this thing. And then they see the kids hanging out by the pool. So they're like, go socialize. Go be with the cool kids. And, of course, Susie went down right away. But, like, Katie was like, meh. And then she finally went down.
She's like, I don't want to hang out with these 17-year-olds.
I don't want to hang out with people my age. That's so weird.
People my age are stupid.
I need to go find me a man.
Finds another 17-year-old, but with a better tan.
I bet. I did not expect that.
I mean, he's nicer and genuinely likable.
I was imagining he was like 19 or 20.
He could have been like...
I always imagine the boy a little bit older.
I feel like he could have been like 18, 19 at most.
Yeah, but she was like 17 or 18.
Mm.
But it was like... But like when you're that age and dating someone who's like 19 or 20, you're kind of like, I have an older man.
Oh my God. But yeah, so basically, we're going on so many tangents. I'm so sorry.
We took edibles. Don't forget that part.
Do not forget that part. It is very crucial.
We will forget, but you cannot.
Should we just... I'll just speed round through it if you want.
Speed round through what?
The plot of the movie.
No, I'm enjoying this conversation, and I want to take my time.
Okay, fine, Jenna Marbles. Go the fuck ahead.
Thank you. The biggest compliment I will ever receive.
Everybody wants to be Jenna.
Oh, I know. She's like, I'm an adult and I'm gonna do what I
want. You sounded like her genuinely for like a split second.
I love her.
Anyway, so she runs into Javier, who is Diego Luna in the movie.
Well, she goes down by the pool, hangs out with the popular kids, and they go and like bring her over. And they're obviously like so passive aggressive towards her. And at the time, it was just because she was wearing a dress. Like, and she was like, they were like picking on her for being dressed while they're sitting by the pool. And she's like, she like didn't even catch it.
The blonde one, the blonde dude, he has the most punchable face. He's the most unlikable character in the entire movie, right next to Susie.
If anyone's fans of Nashville, he played that douchey boyfriend. He dated Scarlett, and then he dated Hayden Panettiere, and like
Yeah.
got her pregnant. But if you're fans of that, it's the same actor. His name's like Jonathan Jackson or something like that. Jackson Jonathan.
His name's Jonathan Groffson.
No, you don't. Jonathan Groff doesn't deserve to be compared to that character.
True. Jonathan Groff, he is
Jonathan Groff would do a good job at that character, though.
he would. I feel like he could slay at being the cunt.
Oh yeah, but I feel like he'd play it more like the secretly gay cunt.
Oh, he always rocks at the secretly gay cunts. I mean, King George.
That's what he is. Well, not secretly.
It's always so fucking interesting whenever I listen to like a history podcast or whatever, and they're just casually like, oh yeah, this king had multiple male gay lovers, and then like also had mistresses, and it was like, how many kings were bisexual and openly bisexual?
Part of me believes they were just fucking women because they thought they could, but then they're like, I'm a king. But then like they still feel like they need to fuck women, so they'd be like, I'm not gay, bro.
Oh no, that fucking girls was like completely normal. Like you'd fuck every girl, every hole in your country. But
That's
it's just like
true.
how many, like King Louis the 13th, he had, you want to know how King Louis the 14th was conceived?
The Sun King.
The Sun King. The Sun King came to be because there was some kind of like storm happening whatever country he was king of, and he couldn't get France. He couldn't like go out to meet his male lovers, so then he decided just to fuck his wife instead.
That's my favorite concept ever, when they're like, okay, I guess I'll go fuck my wife. It's like
I could have
blew my mind. Like, isn't that your first choice? But I understand how like marriage worked back then. But it's just the idea is like, well, fuck. I guess I gotta fuck my wife. God damn it.
like I could have Erica, but then there's Eric. Like
so many choices. I don't know what to do.
Oh my god. We need to get back to the plot of the movie.
So they're down by the pool, and we meet our boy, the one, the only, Javier. And he is giving them drinks. He is the waiter. He works there.
He's the pool boy.
Of course, Katie tries to take off her sweater because she's tired of being shitted on for wearing a sweater. So she was taking it off, and she accidentally hits the tray out of his hands all over the other people. And of course, it's obviously, to the racist people, it's obviously the waiter's fault. So they decide to be total dicks to him. And she was like trying to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Let me help you. And some of the other like privileged little white girls decided to be like, just go get new drinks. Just go get new drinks. And then called him a slur.
Yeah. And it's like, you're invading this man's country. Fuck off.
It's like, oh, I know. I hate that. It's like,
that's why he colonized the colonizer.
I know. Such a good plot. There's nothing I love more than when the lowly, like, the scene is lowly racist, like, other race gets the white girl. I love those kind of stories.
I love it.
I love it. Like, I love a good secret affair between, like, slaves and their masters' wives and shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, in things of that nature. Or, like, when queens sleep with, like, little, like...
Like, when they pull a Catherine the Great.
Yeah, like, when queens will, like, get with those, like, guys that, like, stable boys or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, they just plain do it better than their husband. Like, I love those kind of stories. Where, like, a powerful woman is taken down by a marginalized group or
boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
Curing racism, one fuck at a time.
But she calls him a slur, one of the little white girls. Not like Katie or Susie, but like the one that's been living there.
Yeah.
And we're all like... And then Katie is like, what the fuck did you just say? And decided, like, I don't want to hang out with these people. Got up, went to find Javier, the boss or whatever, and said, "Can I pay for those?" Which is interesting because in the scene beforehand, the guy is ripping his ass in Spanish, saying, "You're gonna have to pay for this. This is your fault."
He was
And
ripping
she
him a new
goes,
asshole right next to his old asshole, like so badly.
"Yeah." And Katie walks up, of course, doesn't know any Spanish at this point. So she comes up and she's like, "I'd like to pay for those drinks." And of course, this man flips a lid, goes into English, and is like, "It's fine. You don't worry about it. Accidents happen." I'm like, "I will kill you." So, of course, Javier's pride is a little wounded. And he's like, "I didn't need your help. Like, stop."
Yeah.
So then she's like, "Fine, damn, bye." And then we cut to, that's kind of the majority of what happens in that moment. Because then we cut to, what do we cut to? We cut to Katie at school. And we find out Katie's super freaking smart and all that crap. And so she tries to stay after school to do her homework. And the white boy, the punchable face, his name is James. His name is James.
Hey, white boy.
Hey, white boy. And he asks her out on a date coming up. Like, it's like Valentine's Day. No, it's before then because this is during Christmas time.
Yeah.
But it was like just like a sock hop type situation, like at the country club. And he said in a couple weeks. And she's like, "Okay, chill, whatever." And then the bus ends up leaving her. So she has to enter the real Cuba to figure out how to get home.
Like the martial law side of Cuba.
Yeah, like where the people live, because the school is kind of in the middle of all the hustle and bustle.
Yeah. So then she comes upon this group and they're like dancing, playing guitar, singing. And
Discovers her passion for dancing.
In the middle of this, well, she just, for the first time in her life, she saw people having fun. So like,
yeah, that's really what it is.
Yeah. And also like Cuban dance is like has so much more flavor than white people dances.
I love, like, when I watch Dancing with the Stars, I love the like Latin ballroom dances like so much more than like the foxtrot and the two-step or whatever. Like, I love watching the Latin ones.
Oh yeah. But anyway, Javier was like shaking his ass, twerking, like booty popping in the middle.
Having a great time.
Popping, knocking, polka dotting all over that Country dance floor. Just dancing with this little kid. And then he notices her.
He's just having a fun time. And he's like, "Oh shit, this fucking white girl. Goddamn."
So then he's like, "Oh God, I need to take this white bitch home before somebody
she's gonna
comes
fucking
after me."
Die. Yeah, it's like she's gonna die, and like I'm not gonna have like this girl's death or kidnap ransom on my hands.
Nay, Jose. But
yeah, he's like, "I'll help you," and she's like, "Nah, I'll get it." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm sure you'll make it eventually."
Yeah,
like, don't be stupid.
Yeah, don't be silly little white girl. But
silly.
I feel like we make fun of white girls too much for white girls.
If you can't make fun of yourself,
truly. But then those girls are just going to be like, "Hey, what about feminism?" And it's like, I will rip you a new asshole right next to yours. Don't just because you're a woman doesn't mean you're not allowed to be an asshole. So basically, he walks her home. On the way, though, the Cuban police come in and see these people singing. And they're like,
she stops and listens to these people singing. And of course, she doesn't understand what they're saying.
But it was basically like a political song. So then the police come in and they start arresting bitches, throwing them on the ground. And Javier has her backpack because he's a gentleman. And she's like, "Run, bitch, run."
Yeah, he's like, "Go that way, go that way. Run, bitch, run."
Later on, I think it was the next day, she was like fucking bringing her back.
That was also her moment when she realized, like, it's not the Cubans' fault. Like, it's not, the Cuban people aren't crazy like that they're being painted as.
Cubans are not bad boys.
Yeah, like, she probably had like a little prejudice in her heart, not like the other people, but it's like, that's when she really saw that, like, nah, we're wrong here. Like, we're not right.
It's when you're 18 growing up in a conservative family And for like the first 17 years, you're just like, okay, all of this shit is true. But then you go out into the real world and you're like, oh, they're
I
liars.
know. Yeah. It's like gay people are just fine. Like they're not gonna make being friends with a gay person isn't gonna kill me. And
Like
things like that.
you can be pro-choice and not be a devil worshiper. Not all those babies, like those babies, they're not going to Satan, they're going to Sky Daddy, and they're just being returned to the sender is what they're doing.
Think of it like they're just taking the soul back and then they'll put it in a different mommy.
Imagine that baby's soul is an Amazon package and you didn't like what they gave you, so you just returned it to the Amazon fulfillment center.
And then they end up getting a baby that they bought full of Amazon returns.
Just like those. Remember that
and
trend?
That baby ends up going to a YouTuber where people buy Amazon returns.
Remember that trend where people were doing crazy shit with the mini plastic babies?
That was weird.
That
One
that
thing
was
I hate the most is when they encase them in soap.
Those that was
I hated that.
Such a short but such an iconic moment in our history.
Does anyone remember the rubber duck thing? Is that just me? Like they have rubber ducks everywhere. The same.
No, I remember that. That was like during Vine.
Ducks.
That was like Vine times.
I wondered because I was like, I'm sure there's like a thing like that with rubber ducks.
Yeah, but anyway, as she's breaking her back trying to like twerk.
Oh yeah, she ends up going to like a studio around the hotel, like because she wants to dance like that. So, of course, her only way of learning dancing is by memorizing, which is like that's like her whole thing is she has no feelings.
Yeah,
and Javier, what?
She's got an eternal stick up her ass.
And so Javier like happens to see her and he's like, what you doing? And she's like, I'm trying to dance the way you were dancing. And he's like, girl. He's like, it's not like that. It's like you just like go with the music. Like don't watch yourself, just do it. Like move. And she like couldn't process that.
Like that man had literally just gotten himself out of jail after getting his ass kicked by police. And he was like, no, this is more painful.
Oh, yeah. And so he's like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? And she's like, oh, he's like, if you really want to dance like that, you got to do these things. And she's like, he ended up saying, why don't you come down to this Cuban club and come see what like real dancing is like? And she's like, I would, but I'm going to the country club, the Palace, they call it, with this boy. And he's like, so you were learning that dancing to like impress your date? And she's like, no, I actually kind of like it. And he's like, you should just learn the foxtrot. And he was like mad because he's like, because he sees this dance as like a super meaningful thing, which it is. It's Afro-Cuban dance. And he ends up explaining later how it's like, it was the dance of slaves because that's all they had around here.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why it was kind of more to him than just some white chick being like, yo, I want to learn how to do this to impress other white people.
Yeah.
Which I kind of get. It's like, it's just like, I kind of get where he's coming from because it's like, you don't respect us enough to give us equal rights, but you'll learn about our culture enough to find it interesting for you and to do these deep, meaningful things for things that aren't deep and meaningful.
Yeah. It's just
like when they wear headdresses, like Native American headdresses, like that could mean something very important to them about like rituals and certain sacrifices, and not sacrifices, but like certain religious rituals and things like that you have no idea what the fuck is about and you're just wearing it around. And it's like, what does that say to like someone else? Like, what if it's like for like a funeral headdress and they're like, oh God, some person's wearing like a funeral headdress around. What does that mean? You know, like it freaks people out, you know? People will do box braids and things, or like the one thing that bugged me is like white people wanted curly hair so bad, but that was usually mostly through people of color.
Yeah.
So it's like they wanted curly hair, like girls getting box braids. Like they want to look like them, but they don't want to give them equal rights. And that's kind of fucked up. It's like they want to learn about my culture. They want to do this, but they won't even give me rights, but they'll steal my culture.
By the way, girly pops, my white girls out there, I'm a hairstylist when I'm not sitting and shit talking with Sierra. So box braids are not made for white hair. Like if you have like 3B, 3C hair texture. Box braids are made to preserve afro, like curly textured hair. Like it's made so it will stay like, what's it? Cleaner? Is that the word?
Healthy?
Healthy, like maintain it. So like our scalps, our hair is not made for that. I wish it was, but it isn't. So just to kill two birds with one stone. Don't destroy your hair and don't appropriate Black culture.
Yeah. I would love to be able to have box braids, but I know that's not for me. And what white girls need to realize, not everything is for you, nor does it have to be.
If you want like similar to box braids, they're not very similar. In the punk community, it's always been popular for quite a few years now, the locks that you braid in your hair. So if you want something like that can look badass, just
or like
braid
Viking,
those.
Yeah, Viking braid locks.
Yeah, like Viking braid locks. Like just braid them in your hair and you'll have a full head of locks.
Yeah, it's true.
It's healthier for your hair too because it's not being.
But Vikings did have their own form of like dreadlocks. I don't know what they called it, but like it's like warrior locks maybe, but it's like dreadlocks are specifically African and like these locks are specifically too. Like there is a difference. And like these Vikings would wear their hair in braids to like keep it out of their way when they're doing stuff, and then like blood would kind of cake their braids and stuff like that, and that's what made them into locks.
Yeah,
because it was like a battle thing for Vikings. So like they have like whatever those are called, Scandinavian locks, whatever.
Yeah,
and those are interesting.
Yeah,
they look kind of cool.
They are. But anyway, where were we? I'm so high right now.
Javier was mad that Katie was just cultural appropriating the shit out of him. He's like, yo, yeah, and she's like, my favorite joke of the movie is like, Katie can be so fucking dense sometimes in this movie. I swear to God.
Like extremely naive. Like you grew up
dense.
You grew up on a Mormon plantation and never left your house.
And didn't have any brothers or a father that was hardly around.
Yes. You're like Ed Gein. Like, not dense.
Dense. So he's like, you should just learn the foxtrot to impress your white boy. And she's like, I already know the foxtrot. And I was like, shut up, you dumb bitch. And at this point, we find out her parents are dancers at one point. They were like professional ballroom dancers. I'm like, how did he start being an exec for Ford? I'd love to know.
They fucked up and got Katie.
Yeah. Like, think Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire. So, yeah. And she, so it kind of cuts to, there's like a little moment where like, there's a really funny, cute little scene where she was like talking to her maid. And she's like, is this square? And she's like, is this square good or bad? And she's like, it's bad. And she's like, see, this is square.
This is square.
And so she takes her and lets him borrow a dress. And she gives her like this sexy little spaghetti strap number.
Just like.
Mm-mm. And so we cut to the dance. And so she walks in. Everyone's like staring at her because she's wearing this like hot little Cuban sexy thing. And she walks in. And of course, the mean white girls are like, instead of judging her for being a prude, they're saying like, oh my God, did she like paint it on? Like they were just kind of like, yo, what the fuck? But then James ends up bringing her over, even though they're making fun of her, and she knows. And they have like a good little date. It's fine. It's like a little sock hop moment. Like 1, 2, 3 o'clock, everybody rock little. That kind of rock and roll. And they decide like, oh, we're going to go have some drinks at my friend's house because no one's home. And then Katie was like, I'm not sure. And she like makes a joke like, oh, I'm sure we can get you like a Shirley Temple or something. And of course, Katie's like, fuck this bitch. And she goes, we're actually going to a Cuban club. Mm-hmm.
We're going to have fun.
I know. And so her and James end up going down to this club. And she sees the one and only Javier up in the midst of all these boobies and shit because everyone's just fucking in a clump. dancing.
Everybody's just like standing and fucking.
Standing and fucking. Just like in the
Mhm.
part where Baby carries in the watermelon. Same kind of sexual energy.
Yes.
And of
So,
course, Katie's watching this fine man.
and then Javier sees this and it's just like, I
He just
want,
stops in his tracks. And he's like, you know, he liked her from the get go.
yeah.
Because he
And
stopped dead in his tracks and walked over immediately.
and then he was like, "Can I dance?" And then
Yeah.
the white boy threw a fit. Not threw a fit, but he was just like pissy
He
after
was like
that.
trying to be like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like it was so like misogynistic and not at the same time where he was being polite is like, can I dance with your date? And he's like, well, you'll have to ask her. And it's like, you're not a feminist. Shut up. You are not a feminist.
You're not a feminist. Full stop.
And so they go dance and he tries to teach her like to just dance, to just be free, to like have fun.
Just
And
dance what
like it
you
was
feel.
so hard. It was so hard to watch because she was still like not getting into it. And it's like rub fronts already.
Yeah. Just horizontal mango.
Everyone like back then thought like grinding like booty to dick or like booty to crotch was like the dirtiest fucking thing you could ever do. But when I watch Dirty Dancing, it's like I feel dirtier watching them rub fronts.
Yeah.
I feel like grosser watching them just like fucking pound each other, like dry humping vertically.
Just like boom, boom, boom.
That feels way dirtier than grinding. I've never like front grinded ever in my life. Like I've gone out and I've done some dirty shit at clubs. Not like that. But I've gotten down and dirty and done some twerking in my day. And I have never like rubbed fronts with anyone as like a dance that I didn't end up having sex with.
I feel like you
Honestly, I didn't rub my fronts at all unless we were having sex.
I feel like you make yourself sound so much older than you are. Like back in my day, that's like something my 4-year-old, 40-year-old cousin would say.
I know. I was twerking like a couple months ago.
She's only
I was
23
out at the
people.
club. Yeah, I'm 24.
24. Oh, well, you could have gone with the 23 and seemed younger.
Shut up.
Anyway, so they dance, they get funky
They
fresh.
rub fronts,
They
barely.
they rub fronts, they touch backs. It's just
Booty to dick, tits to ass.
booty, 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 booty,
Hey, Rocky,
yeah.
no, but okay. So we cut to the side, and there's like Carlos, which is Javier's brother, and he's like super like gung ho, like Hitler Youth kind of shit. Like I love Castro, like fuck everybody else. I like he wanted so bad. He was like a co-conspirator.
He's like trumpets now.
Totally.
Totally. Like I don't know any Biden or Clinton supporters who would try to overthrow the government because our leader said so. Like,
Also, yeah.
like he didn't
Also, like
this man didn't even say so. He just insinuated so, and y'all were just like, "Fuck yeah, let's take over the country."
the thing that weirds me out about Trump is like he has the most fucking merch out of any president ever.
This man,
Why do you need all this fucking merch, my dude?
look, I'm Italian. My grandparents fled Mussolini. I know what living in that fucking shit looks like from their perspective. Trump is a wannabe Mussolini. And I will say that with my whole chest. The siege on January 7th was literally the March on Rome.
Do you realize
Italy.
that yeah, they tried to pull a Julius Caesar. It's
truly
been a year since that happened.
Yeah, I feel like people are less concerned about it than they should be. I don't know if I'm just like being an anxious Annie or whatever, but I don't know. I just see too many red flags. Like I see Fidel Castro over the horizon.
But yeah, that's our Carlos, and he's like trying to be a shithead to the white guy, and they're trying to like fight, and it's like, you know, if you like fight right now in this club, it's not going to affect what's happening in Cuba with white people and black people. I mean, Cuban people.
Yeah.
And so then finally he leaves. With the white people leave. Katie and James get in the car, and then they get in the car, and she's like, "I was enjoying it. I was having fun." And he's like, "You were hot, but like, no."
And then he does that perverted thing where he leans over her, grabs her, and is just locking the door. And then he's like, it's dangerous around here with the window wide ass fucking open.
Yeah, the windows are fucking rolled down. It's very in line with like the stupid yawning and stretching hand over thing. It's like that, like cringy.
I know.
And
Truly.
it's like he just like slyly preaches over and pushes down the lock with the doors wide open, with the
Yeah.
windows wide open, and he tries to fucking kiss her. And it's the most awkward thing ever because he's just like rubbing foreheads with her, like to try and like move her head so he'll kiss her.
Yeah.
And she ends up smacking the shit out of him, and he rips like a strap off of her dress. So she runs back inside looking like a fucking mess. And Javier's like, "Yo, what the fuck? Respecting women is my game, bro. Don't hate the player, hate the game."
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah, and so he just tries to beat his ass. She's like, "No, he's gone. Just don't." And so they have a nice little time walking each other home, and they like learn a lot about each other, and they start to realize they kind of like each other. But of course, fucking Susie, that little bitch, and her little white friend is sitting in one of the tents on the beach when they're walking back, and he stops at the thing and says, "I can't be seen with you or I'll lose my job." And she's like, "That's really sad." And nothing happens. Literally, she gives him his like jacket or whatever she was wearing back, and he like pulls her strap up for her. They are like 5 feet apart. And Susie ends up fucking telling on him.
Fucking snitch.
Yeah. And like, ooh, so annoying. And then ends up like not working there. So she's like, "Yo, my sister's a little racist. What the fuck?" And so she stops talking to her sister, real mad at her sister. And she decides to go down to Javier's house to like try and help or like try to apologize, do anything. And he was just like, "It's fine, it's whatever, like whatever, I don't care." And so she like still feels bad about it, and she's sad that he's in a job he doesn't want to work because he ends up working in a chop shop with his brother where they take apart stolen cars and like sell the parts and whatnot.
Yeah.
And he did not want to be doing that. So she ends up still feeling bad about it. And she ends up coming back after sitting in on a dance class, which is our cameo from Mr. Patrick Swayze.
Yes.
Which that guy is so, like, when he was older, like, his body didn't change at all. He was still, like, muscular and, like, looking like he always did. It's like, it was just his face that got older. It was weird.
Yeah, he aged like a raisin, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just looked like he got skinnier and which obviously was probably from the chemo when he got cancer. But
That was 2 years before his diagnosis, though, I think.
It was.
Did we look that up?
Yeah, but then he looked like so much worse after the chemo.
Oh, yeah. He was always kind of skinny.
Yeah, but it's like, you know when you put water on one of those straw wrappers?
Yeah.
And it expands? Mm-hmm. He did that, but in reverse.
Anyways, they end up being like, "Is anyone gonna join the dance contest?" And someone was like, "Isn't that just for like locals?" And he's like, "No, it's anyone who wants to do it." And he's like, "What about you?" And like points at Katie, and he's like, "I'm not that good." And he's like, "I've been seeing you practice in here. I think you could do it." And so she ends up taking a flyer and looking at it, and goes back to Javier and says, "I think I have a way to get you some money." And he's like, "And how are you gonna do that?" And she was like, "Enter this dance contest with me." And he's like, IDK, man. Kind of like in the same vein where Johnny was like a baby. Like, that bitch can't dance. She can't help me while you're recovering from your infection.
Yeah.
But they end up starting to dance. And, of course, they have to, like, learn everything from each other. Like, Javier has to learn how to actually ballroom dance, not in the club dancing. Yeah. And she has to learn how to do into club dancing. And, like, learn to like fucking let go and have a good time while dancing.
Learn how to get footloose and kick off them Sunday shoes.
Ooh wee Louise. Shake it for me. Jack, get back.
Yeah.
Come on before we crack.
Mom?
Chester?
I think Chester found me. Like somebody knocked on my door, like I heard it through these. Nobody's out there. If my mom was out there, she would just like kept jiggling the door.
So they started the little dance montage, the little hungry eyes moment. And that's kind of like the big thing that happens is like they're learning all their dancing and shit.
And then they start getting closer. Fast forward to the Christmas party thing where the competition's at. Katie ends up having to go with her parents because they changed their mind about whatever. And she goes there and sneaks off with Javier to compete. So then music starts up.
Which they think she's been dating the little white boy this whole time because she made him promise to that he would cover for her while she's fucking around with Javier because he sexually assaulted her.
Yeah. So they start like wondering.
Promise not to tell.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the day.
So she's there with James. She walks in with James. That's what I was getting at.
She walks in with James. She sneaks off to the bathroom, but instead goes to see Javier. The lights go dark. Lola Martinez comes out, and they're like, "Where's Katie?" And Susie just turns around and is just like, "Just wait.
Wait. Just wait, bitch."
And then they see this man topping this white bitch, for lack of a better term.
Colonize that colonizer.
For colonizing the colonizer. They witnessed
so fucking good. This scene, their dance scene, is like the epitome of bi panic because she looks fucking great and so does he.
It literally just, it's one of the things that confirms that I'm not straight.
Confirms my queerness.
They should just make
that my queer eye.
They should just like make that the LGBT driver's license test. Like, prove you're gay, prove you're bi.
Are you gay or straight?
Are you gay, straight, or bi? Watch this movie. And then if you're bisexual,
answer, who are you most sexually attracted to by the end of it?
Like, is it just Javier? Is it Boo? Or is it neither?
If they say James, they're asexual. If they say Javier, it's like gay.
Anyway, they're witnessing colonization before their eyes. Quested.
It looks so good. It looks so fucking good. It's so good.
And then there was like a moment where they like kissed, and it was just like you could tell.
And it was like, it's like you almost didn't want to believe that the kiss was planned because it was so like not in a way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's just like, oh my god, you could tell like he channeled like true love with like, that.
He is so good in that movie. I honestly thought like he was legitimately in love with her the whole time. He did such a good job.
I looked it up. I was honestly shocked when I saw they didn't date because like that would make so much sense.
But he seemed like genuinely very much in love with her.
That man is the king of all actors.
He is. And oh my god, he just looks so cute. His little expressions are everything. That little subtlety that made it seem like he was legitimately in love with her that I loved.
Yeah.
Like every time they'd stick a move, he would just smile, this big smile. And he would like make these concentrating faces when he was trying to do those hard moves. And it was just like the cutest little thing ever. It's like he just looks like a person, like a real person. Like, and it's just so authentic and adorable.
Anyway,
it's the sweetest little thing.
After they witness colonization in the process, they go backstage and they're like, fucking Katie, man, I'm gonna fucking kill you. They get back to the apartment.
Everyone was pissed.
They go back to the apartment where the mom chews her a new asshole and
smacks the shit out of her.
She smacked her hard. I've been slapped many a times in my life. That triggered some PTSD reaction in me because I was like, I was gonna be sick.
It's like you got slapped so hard that her bingo wings jiggled from it.
Like, you remember when the girl got slapped in Footloose? Like, multiply that by 10.
Oh, in the new Footloose,
In the new
smacked the shit out of her.
Oh yeah, like
that was like and the sound effect was really good too that they used.
Yeah, but like
damn, he smacked the shit out of her.
That was a wall shattering smack that she bestowed on Katie.
Oh yeah, it was. Like, Katie smacked James earlier and you thought that was a good one, but then like the mom slap could have like put that one to fucking shame.
You know that Beyonce music video where she has like the sledgehammer and she's like, I'll smash the windows of the car.
I smash your windows out the car.
Is
that Beyonce?
I think so. The sledgehammer is Katie's mom, and the
or like that's the same thing as in Glee. Amber Riley sang it, and she like threw a huge fucking rock through this kid's window. She's like, "You busted my heart." I am a Gleek. Were you a Gleek?
No, I wasn't.
I was a Gleek. I loved Glee. It was so good.
The only thing I know about Glee is that literally all the cast, besides Jonathan Groff, hates Leah Michele. Or hated. Rest in peace, Naya Rivera.
Yeah, I mean, Darren Criss is best buddies with her, though.
He is too?
I think so. She has like 2 gay friends, and that's kind of it.
Well, Darren Criss is straight, so then like he can't be one of the 2 gays.
Right. I always forget.
He just got married.
Darren Criss is straight. Shut up.
You're clearly not a star kid.
No, I'm not.
Anyway, God, I'm gonna throw up after this.
She runs to Javier's house. Like, get the fuck away from this bitch.
And then they make out afterwards. And
make out.
Fast forward a little bit. And Javier is giving Katie's mom and Susie, Katie's sister, flowers and like introducing himself at the second competition. And
they finally like give in and like, okay, you can have your bitch.
I was like, that is so sweet though. Like, he didn't just get some for the mom, he got some for Susie too. Like,
yeah, and it was so sweet because he like picked it from his mom's garden. Like, he was trying his best.
Yeah, he wanted to impress them.
He was so sweet.
Anyway, they dance, and Carlos, that dumb bitch from earlier,
that lovable Nazi youth, except not lovable,
held a coup at the country club, and then everybody ruined the entire competition.
Almost got his head blown off, I might add.
So Katie's family flees with Katie back to the resort, and then he's just like, what the fuck? They throw a punch outside the club, and then it's announced that what's his name, Batista, fled the country. So then Fidel Castro was taking over Cuba.
Yeah, they said Cuba belongs to the people again. It's like, did it though?
Yeah, no, it was 10 times worse. But anyway, after that, Katie tries to get Javier to go back to America with her. He's like, no, this is Cuba. She begs Javi to go to America with her, and he's like, no, this is my country. My family is here.
Like, this is what I wanted. Like, I was gonna leave because Batista was here, but now that he's gone, I want to have my life here.
Yeah, he wants to be with his family, which is understandable.
So then they bang in a tent on the beach, and it was good.
Yes, it was
sexy.
It was smashing the windows out of your cars so hard.
It was very very cheesy, but so good. Like, there was like it's like one of those songs that the minute it came on, you're like, they're gonna fuck in this scene. Like, it was so obvious.
It is.
It was so funny.
But On that last night,
He colonized that bitch.
he colonized her. And then the next day they have one last dance at the Rosa Negra.
It's not a slur.
La Rosa Negra.
The Black Rose.
Or if we were saying this in Italian, La Rosa Nero. But anyway, that's your Italian lesson.
I was trying to remember it in German, but I couldn't remember the word for rose.
But yeah, they dance, and then she flees back to America with all the other ladies.
I want to believe that she took a baby home with her.
We all want to believe that. I want that to have happened. But yeah, that's
Die schwarze Rose.
But anyway, that is why we are in love with Diego Luna, and why Diego Luna is Sierra's fourth daddy.
He's like my second daddy.
I thought you had like multiple daddies.
I have a lot of daddies. I have Daddy Diego. I got Daddy Greg Davies. I got Daddy Austin. What?
Daddy Greg Davies.
Greg. Greg.
I love Greg. Oh my god.
Greg.
My daddy. Wait, can I say my daddies?
My daddy.
My daddies are Calum Hood, Dev Patel, Pink. Pink is my mommy and my daddy. Mommy. And who else is there? There's somebody else.
Diego.
Daddy Diego Luna.
Yeah, Daddy Diego Luna.
They're all my daddies.
So I'm a professional fanfic writer, and I'm currently writing the sequel to the sequel of Dirty Dancing. But Ava and I have been discussing this, and my thought was I want it to be one of those things where like the adult child comes back to find their father. I played around with the different ideas because I kind of wanted Katie to come back in the next couple of months and be like, hey, yo. And then he sees her like pregnant. But I also thought it'd be interesting if the child came back to Cuba to find her father. And then like the mom, then Katie had to follow her and like do the whole Parent Trap thing.
Yeah, we were talking about it last night when we were watching, what was that movie?
In the Heights.
In the Heights. Like
we're trying to make a fan teaser trailer.
Like Vanessa would be baby and Javier's baby.
Yes. Vanessa, let me get the next one. There's some really good scenes that we could like kind of morph together with scenes from Dirty Dancing and make a pretty good fan nip.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But that's kind of the things we're toying with, because in the end we want Javier and Katie back together. So Katie's obviously not fucking anybody, because she seems like the type that like if she's pregnant with Javier's kid, she's only going to be like faithful to Javier.
Yeah.
Like I don't think she would get any other guy after that. And then Javier, I mean, I kind of wanted to believe. I feel like he'd be more likely to get a wife or something because of like such circumstance.
Yeah.
But like I want like her to have something to happen to her.
But yeah, what should we talk about now? Should we talk about our other daddies?
I was trying to think of more daddies that I had, and the first movie I saw on my shelf was Ratatouille.
Remy, the Ratatouille.
The Ratatouille musical is so strange to me. I'm sure Star Kid is working on it right now.
That was the peak of when everybody went insane during the pandemic.
I remember that.
We were just looking for any source of dopamine.
So much fun.
But Daddy Calum, I can talk about him. So Daddy Calum, I love him so much. Calum Hood from 5 Seconds of Summer. For all of y'all reference, we are 5 Sauce Stands. That's how we met, and that's how we became brain cell sisters.
Brothers.
Brain Cell Bros.
I'm
But
so hungry, dude.
but yeah, Callum, if you want, I can just talk and you can get something to eat.
I'm gonna fuck up some Frosted Flakes real quick. BRB.
Okay. Anyway, Callum, he is just my king. There's some days where I want to punch him in the throat and other days where I want to just hug him and be bros with him. But yeah, he's very relatable to me, honestly, because like he I don't know, I just see very similar things. Like he and Ashton are the what's it called? The emotional gestures of Five Sauce. Like they're the ones who are willing to do anything to like help cheer everybody up. Like they don't like seeing anybody sad, so they just will make fools of themselves and asses of themselves just to see other people around them happy, which I am a people pleaser, so I do that. But so yeah. Yeah, that's why Calum Hood is my daddy. Oh my god, I need a cookie. Oh my god.
Hi, we just had a snack break.
Yeah. Fuck you. Fuck you very, very much.
I'm sorry for no burp alert. Excuse me, I had a bowl of cereal.
All right, so last place we left off, I went on like a solo ramble session about why I love and also hate Calum Hood and why I want to punch him in the throat while
Punch you in the throat.
while hugging him because like
That's you're dumb. Do you like enjoy being this stupid? I don't understand. She's still going, ladies and gentlemen, and theys and thems. I don't know what's wrong. She's probably gonna delete this out anyways because she's fucking the editor, I guess.
I don't know if I've revealed this, but I'm one of those people who when they're high, every single thing is funny. So like first I was laughing at her joke, but then I was laughing at how like my wheezing laugh sounds like a flock of seagulls. So that's why I was laughing for so long.
I truly don't remember what my joke was at this point.
Me neither. I don't, but I just remember that my laugh sounds like seagulls.
I'm mad. I want to know what my joke was so funny.
Well, we can listen back to it on the podcast.
The podcast.
The podcast.
Weird.
Claire, no.
Claire.
The condensation.
Conversation. I could have been the person that watched that show, but I watched.
Actually, you want to know who one of my first crushes? Ricky from H2O.
Oh, my crush was 1,000% Steve Irwin. I had the biggest crush on Steve Irwin.
Oh
Why are you
my
laughing
God.
at me?
I can't hear. Ziggy, no. He wants to steal the attention.
That's Ziggy for you, little bastard.
He's a little bitch. A little bitch boy.
Little rat
Who lives
bastard.
in the little rat.
Pineapple under the sea. Bitch ass bitch pants.
Anyway, wait, can we talk about our crushes though? So Dev Patel, he's beautiful. He's beautiful. Dev Patel, I'm talking about my other crushes. Pink, she has owned my ass since I was 6 years old. Like she terrifies me, but I love her so much. So like I would probably cry in her presence because she's such a badass woman. And like she's 5,000% the reason that I'm emo.
Nice.
So anyway, so now we are going to skip to the section where we read Am I the Assholes? And I'm normally the reader in these situations, but I am 420 blazed out of my fucking mind. I
Aren't
can't
you all?
I can't read for shit. So Sierra's gonna have to do. She should do good because she's a music teacher, and you know that they have to read shit.
Shut up.
What, you have to read music?
Yes, but you should really shut your face more often.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to annoy you.
Am I the asshole refusing to pay my parents' rent money? No.
No. This is like a white
I
American thing, and I don't understand
I
it.
know.
Like Italians, like
18.
sorry, I was interrupting. But Italians, like,
Seven.
you live with your parents until you're married. Like, even if it's when you're 29, you get married, you live with your parents until you're married. You're not expected to like pay rent, food, anything, because like that's family.
That's wild to me. 18 female, turned 18 about a month ago. The day after my birthday, my parents sat me down and told me that they want me to pay rent while I lived at home. I was a little confused. I had 3 older siblings, and the deal for them was that they could live at home for free while they were studying, even when they were several years older than I am. Now, I can only work weekends because of college, so I make about £500 a month. And after paying for tuition, health insurance, mandatory, and my phone bill, I have about £300 left, most of which I try to save. So I asked my parents how much they'd want, 100 a month, maybe 200? But no, they want me to pay market value to rent a room, which is, in the city where I live, about £500. Now, I think this is ridiculous for 2 reasons. One, my parents' rent for the entire house is $600 a month. I would have understood asking for a third of that, but for me alone to pay 84% seems excessive. And 2, none of my siblings paid rent, even if they were older or had better paying jobs. Not to mention that my parents didn't give me any warning. If I had known beforehand, I'd have looked up for a room when college started. I explained that I'd have to make almost $800 a month just to be able to pay for everything, and even more if I want to save anything for unexpected expenses, school books, or actually moving out, which would be really hard to do while going to college full-time and commuting back and forth. They told me to just take out some student loans. I told them I'm not okay with paying that much and that I would look to move out as soon as possible so I wouldn't be a financial burden to them. I think I found a room cheaper than my parents offered and will probably move out in a week or 2 if everything goes right, but I haven't paid this month's rent. Am I the asshole? Some people point out that my parents are legally obliged to help pay for my living college expenses. I'll look into it. Do I even have to say it? That's fucking wild to me.
That's crazy.
It's like I get and don't get it in some aspects. Like, to play devil's advocate, I understand, like, I think it's a weird practice, but I see people doing it where, like, they make their kid, like, they give them an allowance and then make them pay, like, for expenses to, like, show them what it's like to pay bills. I'm like, do they really have to worry about that right now as a child?
They shouldn't.
It's like, I slightly understand that, but it is wild that the other siblings didn't pay, like, at all. And $500, like, why from her specifically? Like, it's just shady as fuck. Like, why? I don't know. It's just shady as hell that they, like, are asking her for $500, but nobody else. Like, why her specifically when they know she is, like, the poorest?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Am I the asshole for not kicking my boss out of my wedding because his wife wore a totally inappropriate dress? I'm in a career where networking is everything, and inviting your boss to your wedding is pretty much standard. I got married recently, and we invited my boss and his wife, who I will admit is obnoxious and very attention-seeking. He's the biggest enabler, and hanging out with him as a couple kind of makes my skin crawl. She wore an extremely inappropriate dress. It was white, and beyond that, it was massively sparkly. My wife had admitted in the past that she feels intimidated by this woman because she's very beautiful, and I've done everything I can assure her that she is the most beautiful woman in the world to me. During the wedding, my wife asked me to kick my boss and his wife out. I said I can't do that. He's my boss, and that could destroy my career. He said his wife did it on purpose, and she can't stand looking at her. I apologized and said I wish I could, but she still feels I was wrong and should have asked them to leave. Is there more? That's just. I wouldn't have invited him in the first place. Like, I don't care who you are. Like, I would not have, if I didn't want them at my wedding, I'm not going to invite them to my wedding. Like,
Yeah, no. No, that's just ruining the vibes.
also, like, getting drunk in front of your boss, like, trying to have a good time and, like, make sex jokes because you want to fuck your marriage person. Like,
Fuck your husband,
no.
fuck your wife, like,
Fuck your spouse.
fuck your spouse, yeah.
But just, like, if I'm not comfortable, like being silly and, like, getting drunk at my fucking wedding, then you, like, shouldn't be there. It's like, I don't care who you are. It's a fucking wedding. It's supposed to be, like, the happiest moment of your life.
Yeah, like, fuck you.
No, it's like, I think he's kind of the asshole for not kicking them out.
Yeah.
That's just fucked up when people try to wear flashy white dresses to weddings. Like, why, what in your right mind makes you think that's actually fucking okay to do?
Just fucking don't be an asshole. Like, bare fucking minimum.
Yeah, I saw, like, posts where, like, fucking mother-in-law would wear white floor-length gowns to their sons' weddings.
No, that's
I'm like, you're
emotional.
a bad fucking person.
That's emotional incest.
That's just being being a bad person. That's just really fucked up.
To think that no other women could, like, deserve your son other than you.
That's Oedipus right there. You have a problem if you really think if you would do that at your son's wedding or your daughter's wedding.
Yeah, no.
Just in general, that's fucking rude. Like, I also do not think it would be worth it. Like, there's not a lot of people I would do this for. Like, if I can't get along with your family or, like, enjoy being around your family and you, then I don't want to marry into it. Like, I will not live my entire life, like, fighting because my mother-in-law doesn't like me or something. Or my husband's family doesn't like me. Like, that is not worth it to me.
And ladies, if your husband or spouse prioritize their relationship with their mother over you, then, like, get out.
Yeah,
get
red
out.
flag.
Get out. That's emotional
Red
incest.
Flag. It's wild. But it's just, yeah. But I will not take the time to, like, I will not deal. Like, I don't care who the man is. I will not, like, torture myself with being in, like, a family that's, like, after me.
Absolutely not.
And the same goes for, like, my family not liking someone I'm with. It's like, it's not worth it.
You know. Anyway, I think I'm gonna cut print.
Moving on. Hope you enjoyed the Dirty Dancing Havana Nights reenactment show.
I hope you enjoyed our episode of What the Fuck Was That? My sister just turned into a zombie. What the fuck was that?
What was that? Quick before the hyena comes.
Anyway, we're gonna cut, print, load all of this. I'm gonna speed edit this because this is supposed to be out tomorrow.
Just remember, join us next week where we recap Dirty Dancing Havana Nights again.
Yes, where we reenact some stupid movies. Here's the queen of dumb movies, so we'll figure something out.
I love movies.
We will
watch a lot of movies.
We will watch a movie and then try to describe it between the two of us.
We probably won't do that.
we physically won't be able to.
Quick before the hyena come. I want to watch Lion King 1.5 now. I'm done.
All right, we're gonna fuck off. Adios.
Yeah, fuck off now. Bye.
Bye.